the season started anyway before these drafts. So what I feel about that.
Yeah, we sort of agreed on that one at that time too, that Hutch had a more likely chance of making this roster. If we're going to be honest, Mechie right now is a receiver that can't separate from defensive backs. That's not a good thing. And it's not as if you say, okay, well, he's a little bit slower because he's getting older. That's not what we're dealing with Mechie. He's just not getting away. At least Hutchinson can say, well, I'm a big-bodied receiver. He has something that he can say that's a little bit up there.
Yeah. Eric in the comments says, no, he will not make the team. Trevor from Third and Teal. Both of these guys are from Third and Teal. You got the 3 headstones. Guess he's saying it's a deadlock there. Another name that is, in my opinion, on the roster bubble, that'd be Ron Darby. Ronald Darby was brought in on, just a fraction above.
You say who?
Do what?
He say who? I thought Mike said who. I was like, man, that's messed up.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Well, I guess he ain't gonna make the team.
Ron Darby, obviously at this point in his career, is not the athlete he once used to be. When he was relied upon a lot last season, the Jaguars were definitely not being put in great situations because of his play. That's why he didn't stay there. Now he's here on a $1.4 million deal. That's cheaper than what we signed Shaq Griffin for. If there has ever been a cut candidate for us, it's him. It is him. Trevor. He's going to be a great Walmart greeter.
God damn.
Yeah. Hey, look, you got to fill every shoe and somebody's got to have that job.
Yeah. The only thing his saving grace is if we sit back and we ask ourselves, who else is playing cornerback?
Jalen Smith.
Rookie.
The hope there is that Jalen Smith is good enough to play over Ron Darby at an outside and even inside backup piece. That's what the hope is.
I don't know. We be kind of hitting on the rookies in the defensive back room lately.
we do, but there's even part of me that's still scared about that. Like I think even if Jalen Smith is good enough to start over Ronald Darby, who's behind them? Because this past year, we went 4 deep on the roster.
Yeah.
We found out who was behind guys.
Yeah. Well,
was it D'Angelo Ross?
D'Angelo Ross.
Oh God, he got hurt too, didn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure he got hurt because we were seeing a lot of him. I think he got hurt.
That's because Jeff Okudah was hurt.
Yeah.
Ronald Darby is nothing but Jeff Okudah's replacement.
Yeah, like I think D'Angelo Ross had like a ACL injury too. Something that's going to take like a year.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we've got Elijah Huzzy, Greg Jr., D'Angelo Ross, Tremon Smith. Those are all of the corners that we obviously, Jalen Smith, Darby, Stingley, and Kamari Laster.
And Tremon's, what's it? Tremon?
Tremon.
Yeah. Tremon's going to make this team, but he's a slot corner at best.
Yeah. I think when we signed him, he was technically listed as a safety.
Safety, yeah.
Yeah, but they've got him as a corner on the Texans website. I think he's a special teams guy. That's what he did for us for years. I'm honestly glad he's back because he was pretty good at his job.
And that's the whole thing. Why I say there's a very highly chance Darby still makes this team because other than the rookie, Which one of those guys do you actually want to see playing outside corner?
Well, I mean, some of these guys are ideal size. Outside corner.
But are they good? Like
I mean, probably
Huzzy,
not, but like most people are not.
Huzzy, I would like to see him play because I remember watching him in college a little bit, but he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm looking around like, fuck, Darby. I guess Darby is the best option.
I mean, in a way, but he's definitely never going to be the primary backup. Like in the slot, you go Petrie, Jimmy Ward, and then probably you're hoping again Jalen Smith. And you're hoping that Jalen Smith can prove himself to be a worthwhile backup behind Kamari Lassiter. You want Ron Darby to be fourth string.
Yep.
Like no matter what.
And if he's fourth string, he's probably on our team.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he could come into camp and look slower than molasses on a cold winter's day. Okay. It could be bad. Which is why I'm very ecstatic that we paid him like a scrub.
Yep.
That's perfect. That's true. Darby has no chance in covering any receiver, let alone, BTJ or Travis.
Well, if he's one-on-one with BTJ, we're fucked.
Cooked.
I will admit that. Yes.
Not a good.
The homer and me can't even sympathize and say, yeah, that might be a good idea. No.
Nah. Chris?
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about the Ronald Darby thing no more. I'm just waiting to move on to the next.
I'd rather see Petrie playing outside corner.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. The next name I have on my list is still on defense. We're going to go Danico Autry. Danico Autry is an interesting name to bring up in a cut candidate roster bubble kind of thing here. Because realistically speaking, we didn't get what we wanted out of Danico Autry last season. The 6-game suspension did not help anything, but he was huge in the Lions game, that first half against the Lions. He was getting in Penei Sewell's ass. He was making him look like a young dude getting smoked by an older guy who's got a bunch of tricks in the bag. It was kind of fun to watch, honestly. But outside of that game, there really wasn't a lot of moments where Autry really made his presence felt. And, the second half of that game, he really didn't make his presence felt. And we definitely needed that. He's got like an $11.5 million contract this season. So it would save us a bit of money to cut him. In the room, you've already got Sheldon Rankins. You've already got the Foley Fatukasi coming back. You've got Kurt Heinisch. You've got Togiai.
Settle,
Mario Edwards Jr. And Keontae Hamilton out of Rutgers that we drafted in the 7th round.
And the undrafted kid.
And an undrafted kid.
From Utah. What's that name? It's one of the ones I can't pronounce. But that don't take much.
Yeah, good luck.
I can pronounce it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Chris, how you feeling about that one?
Oh no, I agree about that. Well, I mean, like I said, this because he had the 6-game suspension. Because he got suspended before when the season started, and then who got suspended? Was it Mario Edwards Jr.?
Yeah, he got suspended at 2-3 games.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even realize he was still going to be on the roster, and not even trying to be funny.
Who, Mario Edwards Jr.?
Yeah, I thought he was only on a 1-year deal, but I was mistaken. That's besides the point.
Well, they signed him to a 2-year deal.
They extended it. Yeah.
Oh, they extended him? Okay, well, It's been a weird couple of months. So I'm missing a lot of signings and extensions. But anyway, that's besides the point. I do agree. But I think also
Jalen, you got a
at the
point.
end of the
Jalen,
season, he was really good though.
Yeah.
Autry. It's just, now it seemed like we didn't have enough at that position last year to now it feels like we have too much. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Because is Togai better than him?
no,
I mean, at
thing is-
one of the two positions that he plays regularly, yeah, definitely. Jalen just made a great point. Danico's
can't
versatile.
Autry
He
jump
goes
on the end
everywhere.
also?
Exactly. Well, but when you think about the defensive end room that we already have, we've got obviously the top two. Nobody's leaving that room. Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, and then you've
Mhm.
got Derek Barnett and Daryl Taylor. Those guys, that's a solid
a lock.
4-man group
That's a
right
lock.
there. Then you've also got the versatility of Autry and Mario Edwards, who are roughly the same size. I think Autry's taller, but they're about the same weight, and they can kind of both play that versatile spot. I'd have to agree with Jalen. I think it's between Mario Edwards and Danico Autry, and Danico Autry's got like 5 years on Mario Edwards.
And that's not a positive. That's a negative.
Yeah. Mario Edwards Jr. is like 30, 31.
Yeah. If we're thinking about this, and the way I see it is, okay, we know he's not better than the starters at the end position. I don't believe Autry at this point in his career is better than Barnett or Taylor. So it's not really a lot of minutes for him to be had at the end position. And we brought back Sheldon Rankins. Is there any part of you that thinks Danico Autry, from what we saw last year, is better than Sheldon Rankins? He's not better than Rankins.
Yeah.
From what Mario Edwards gave us his all last year, he outplayed Danico Autry. Foley plays a different position than what Danico is.
Yeah.
That's why I say, if I'm looking at this roster, there's no real spot for Danico Autry unless he's really, really he's got to show up to camp in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
And just killing it.
Yeah. And at this point, I don't know that he's got that in him.
No, was it 35 now?
Yeah, 35, I think.
35, 36. He's somewhere up there.
Yeah. He's an old man. He's an old man.
He's Jerry Hughes again.
Yeah, basically. Except for, bigger. Yeah. Trevor in the comments, he would have to move inside at some capacity. There's nowhere left for him, and he can't do that effectively.
No, nowhere effective. It's nowhere for him inside either.
No, that's the problem. Is it's kind of sewn up. Bro has 1 foot in behind it. Bro, it's 1 foot and 4 toes.
Yeah,
we're getting close there with him.
Like I said, we did the same thing to Jerry Hughes.
Let's go back to offense real quick. Okay. Xavier Hutchinson, much like John Mechie, kind of seems like he's going to find himself on the outside looking in, even though he's got basically a third of his team from Iowa State on the roster now. No, I'm just playing. They didn't actually play together, I don't think. Hutchinson.
No.
What was it? Jalen.
I think Noel did. Him and Noel did, but not Higgins.
Okay. But look, Hutch has been over the last couple of years learning the game a little bit better at the NFL level. He seems to find, like last year, we didn't have the kind of like broken 50-yard plays a lot. Where that like 2023 CJ Stroud was able to just like muster up out of nowhere. Oh, wow, Tank Dell's wide open down the field. How did that happen? That last year was Xavier Hutchinson from time to time.
Oh my God, nobody else can get open. Hey, it's Hut.
Yep. Saving the day. So I think with that, and hopefully, Nick Caley's bringing like a little bit more of a nuanced offense. These guys will be able to get open a little easier. Uh, that being said, though, I don't have a lot of faith in Justin Watson to make the roster.
We
This
hear.
this is where I feel Hutchinson could, in theory, push to make the final cut. But
Okay, like, and I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but like, and I completely agree, like, with the Justin Watson, because if we're gonna put it at that note, it's basically like the same point, because Hutch really did not get a chance to play much unless he was blocking, especially when everyone was healthy.
But at least he was good at blocking.
Oh no, I do agree that he is. I
That's
think
the thing.
he's really good at blocking, and I would rather him over a Justin Watson who for some reason, if you pick him on the right day, he'll hit on your parlay.
yeah,
Just on the right day.
yep.
But the thing is, if we're being honest, Justin Watson and Hutchinson are the same player.
That's
Big
my
body,
point I was trying to get at. I
big
would
body
rather
receiver that can block, he can catch, he can get open, he can do some things. Oh, and he plays special teams.
Yeah.
He'll come down the field and make a tackle for you.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of excited when we got him, but I also knew that, that's obviously it's competition. You want that room constantly developing, but Hutch is going to have a fight, just like Mechie this offseason. We'll see how this all shakes out.
Seriously, I don't think there's gonna be a fight for Mechie. That's gonna be a knockout.
Trevor says that's why it seems like regression took place from an outside perspective. It's unreliable hope that he'll just be open. I mean, Hutch realistically shouldn't be on the field when we've got a healthy wide receiver core. Like at least last season, he was wide receiver 5 or 6.
No, and his question is why? Why shouldn't he be?
Oh, I mean,
like the thing is, you remember when that guy is he still in Washington now?
Who?
What was his face? The guy that always gets hurt.
Chase Young? Receiver.
The receiver we got from the Cowboys. What was that guy's name again? That tells you how much I should.
Noah Brown from the Cowboys.
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown.
Oh yeah.
Is Noah Brown that much better than Hutchinson? Not at all.
Yeah.
The thing is, you should be 5 receivers deep because there's a chance wide receiver number 5 is probably going to get on the field.
Yeah.
Especially if you're thinking, which offense do we think Nick Haley's bringing? If he's bringing a blend of that LA and a blend of New England, they played 5-6 receivers deep.
Yeah.
Those guys played.
Yeah.
Like in Braxton Berrios, if we're keeping it honest, if he makes this team, he might have to actually play receiver for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, lately he's just been a special teams guy, like just returning kicks.
I wouldn't be mad if he was just a special teams guy.
Yeah.
I don't like the name Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
If he's returning punts only, he's still useful.
Yep. Robert says, so did your wide receivers learn how to play O-line? No. Nah. But we're just banking on these guys coming in.
All these jokes that's going around about this O-line, I don't want to hear none of it. Watch, the O-line will be fired this year, and I don't want to hear nothing from nobody whenever the O-line is fired. Because our O-line was bad.
I don't want him to be fucking fire. I'm not going to put that in the fucking ethos.
I will.
Be average.
Fucking average.
Shit, average would make them look fire.
Bro, we were 31. We were 31 out of 32 teams last year.
Just be 31. Average.
If we could get to 18, shit, fuck it, 20
with an all-world left tackle.
Yeah, who was getting paid all-world money, still refusing to block though. Trevor says, right, but considering the injuries sustained, you have to be prepped, especially now. That's why I think we drafted 2 wide receivers, Trevor.
Yep.
The depth there was an issue. That's why I was banging that table all offseason up until the draft. 2 wide receivers. I wanted 2 offensive linemen. It just didn't kind of work out that way for the linemen. But
To be completely honest, you remember when we talked about it? I want to keep Diggs and still draft 2 receivers.
yeah. I mean, every year we've made it to the playoffs with CJ Stroud. It is Nico Collins versus the fucking world. And then John Mechie's somehow on the field. It's just not a good recipe for success.
It's just the times I heard Mitchie's name, and it's not that he didn't make big plays. He made a big play, maybe 2.
He did make big plays. I ain't seen a big play from him since Alabama.
But see that's my thing. Okay, so I'm gonna give him one big play. He had one big play. I'm gonna give him one.
He had a pretty decent game against somebody.
You don't even know what game it was.
Detroit.
That's what we're talking about.
He had a good game against Detroit. He did.
But I always feel like anytime Hutch's name is being called, it's because he's stepping up to the plate to make a big play. Although he's not catching the ball as high, I feel like every single time, and I know it's not every single time, but it feels like anytime he is actually targeted, he catches the ball. Unlike John Mechie, who I think was getting thrown the ball a lot more than he probably needed to be thrown the ball.
Let me ask you guys, who led our team in drops?
Probably John Mechie.
He was second.
Who led the team in drops?
Fuck.
Dalton Schultz.
Ooh, I ain't highly paid
Dalton Schultz. Highly paid Dalton Schultz led our team in drops.
I thought we were just doing receivers, but yeah.
Bro, he had like 4 drops in one game.
Yeah,
I can believe
Eric's
that.
got a question for us. So, what position do you short if you keep 6 receivers?
I think we keep 6 receivers no matter what.
Yeah. Last year we kept 6. I think we had 5 corners. We had 5 safeties on the roster, and like 9 defensive ends / defensive tackle room. I think we only ran with 3 running backs for most of the season. And then we had Taylor on the practice squad. Yep. But I think that's what would happen. If I'm not mistaken, at the beginning of last season, I felt like we started with 4 running backs
because we had
that's what I was just saying.
The dude that we traded to Minnesota, cousin, because they really small. Who?
Cam Akers.
There you go.
Yeah. Cam Robinson is so bad. Well, if he can come in,
maybe he needs a different system.
Average fucking football. I don't need him to come in and play Laramie Tunsil level football. He's not going to do that. If he can
run block.
Yeah. If he
can fucking run block.
God, if he can run block, god damn.
If he can run block, he's already better than what Laramie was at left tackle.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Laramie is a world beater when it comes to pass pro, but that dude just hated run blocking. Cam gave up 5 sacks in the Vikings playoff game and got Darnold killed just like Trevor.
So I think CJ gonna be running a lot more this season. Not a hell of a lot more, but a lot more because he's seeing sometimes you just gotta run.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's going to be running. I think with a different guy running the offense, there's going to be a lot of 1-2 step drops, quick hits.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing is like all the issues that we had with the offensive line last season, fucking Bobby Slowick never adjusted really. Like we never really went, quick passing game. He kept wanting to set up long developing play action. Nick Haley will do.
Oh shit, we can't protect C. So I'm gonna put him in a 5-step drop from shotgun.
Yep.
We can't protect him.
Yep. That's part of the problem. That's why Bobby's not here anymore.
He only been gone a couple of months and already almost forgot his name.
The rookie we got.
I was talking about Bobby Slow.
Oh yeah, I straight up almost forgot his fucking name. Bold prediction here. I'd love to see a world where Cam Robinson is Ariante Ursari's backup.
That one right there.
I'm hoping that's what happens. I'm hoping Ursary comes in and soaks up everything Nick Caley and Cole Popovich have to say, and he becomes one of those guys that comes in and plays really damn good football for the Texans for the long haul. But let's continue with this roster bubble. British Brooks. He was a guy that we liked at running back. And then the Texans were like, we like him, but we don't have enough room in the running back room. So let's make him a fullback. And then I'm pretty sure on like his second game as a fullback, he gets broken. Never really saw him again. He's still on the roster. He's still listed as a fullback. I would love to see him make this roster, but I think he's a really good cut candidate. Just so you can bring in, maybe hold on to your 7 wide receivers or an extra safety or an extra linebacker or whatever. Because a lot of the defense, we had several guys that were missing significant time. So maybe having a couple extra bodies wouldn't be too bad. Trevor said,
and especially when we think about it. Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry. For your mental health, he needs to improve under pressure all around. Yes, CJ definitely needs to improve under pressure, but he also has some pretty interesting statistics that I think you should look into when it comes to him being pressured on 3rd and long. So when defensive coaches stack the box covering all the screens, then what?
Oh, we're not running screens.
Yeah, we're not running screens. Not every quick game has to
screens.
be screens, bro.
No.
Yeah, Brandon, we out here late.
Wide receiver slants, wide receiver outs. You have wide receivers that run really good routes, and they're fast and quick.
You got big body dudes.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. And I almost forgot, while we're sitting up here talking, who doesn't think that the Texans are going to carry 4 tight ends?
Yeah, that's well. I mean,
they're going to carry.
He is a tight ends coach by trade, so I mean, he might be able to actually pull a little bit of a D'Amico effect and have Dalton Schultz and the rest of the tight end room play their best games. But
like, if we're at the tight end room, the guys that we know, goddamn, Dalton Schultz, more than likely on this roster. Cade Stover, Brevin Jordan,
Herb Smith, and Lackey.
Yeah,
that's 5 tight ends.
Wow.
Yeah, I like Lackey a lot.
4 of these guys, and I think Lackey's going to be the one, because if we put Lackey on practice squad, I guarantee somebody comes to get him.
Yeah. Jalen says, yeah, I don't know if Nick Caley uses fullbacks in his offense, but I agree Brooks and Dare might be cut candidates. Absolutely.
He does use fullbacks, but he brought in his fullback of choice. The German.
Robert's comment makes no sense here. Y'all need to get a better GM or owner that don't mind spending money on signing bonuses to help with the cap. To help the cap? What are you talking about?
Have you not been paying attention this year?
Yeah, we spent like a bunch of money that we didn't have and brought in people. We're doing fine. Jalen says, I think we're going to carry 4 tight ends. Very strong possibility. Lackey is going to be on the roster mainly because of his blocking. 100%, but, with more time spent away from his fucking injury in college, I think we're going to see his athleticism come back a little bit. And I would love that. Let's see. Robert, you wilding right now. Cap isn't real. Convince me otherwise. Argue with a wall.
Saints.
Yeah, literally.
That's all I'm going to say.
How the Saints signed anybody is absolutely bananas. Robert says the right people. Well, I mean, we're doing well enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's not great. It's not terrible.
If we're being completely honest, we won a division with one wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, the last 3 years we've had absolutely. I think Tank Dell and Nico that 1 year played 3 or 4 games together.
Then Nico got hurt.
Yeah, and then Tank was hurt for the rest of the year. And then last year, Nico got hurt. I think Stefan, Nico, and Tank Dell all played a total of 3 or 4 games.
Almost about to have a historic fucking season.
Yeah.
Dude had like 500 yards in 3 games.
Guys, y'all remember when we were questioning what was wrong with Tank? He wasn't looking like himself. And all of a sudden it clicked. And I don't know about y'all, but when I was watching that Chiefs game, I was like, that's Tank motherfucking Dale. That's Tank Dale.
Yep.
That's literally what happened to me.
Yep. Yeah, dude, that knee injury is gruesome. Thoughts and prayers. Agreed. Lackey's underrated as a pass catcher. Only because the AFC South sucks. Well, I mean, I guess, but
you can't be mad at me for being the tallest midget.
Trevor, oh yeah. There's a good chance Tank does not come back the same kind of player. I mean, he's got a completely bionic knee at this point. So maybe he'll come back the $6 million man. I'd be surprised if he actually does make a full comeback. Yeah, realistically, I mean, we don't know. We're hoping that he could make some sort of a comeback, not this year, but next year.
If anybody,
he don't need to be anywhere near a game.
Yeah.
The thing is, Tank has the heart to do it. And you know how we always keep talking about the fact that he doesn't weigh anything. He's so light. That's a benefit for the type of injury that he's recovering from. He's not dragging around 200 pounds of weight on that knee.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tragic, Trevor. It sucks, but, it is what it is. All right, last player for the roster bubble discussion this evening, and then we'll get into the top 25 and wrap her up here. Kurt Heinisch, defensive tackle, undrafted out of Notre Dame, is somehow stuck around for the better part of the last 3 seasons. And now with the depth in the room, technically he doesn't play the same kind of position that Danico Autry or Mario Edwards Jr. play. He's more of a Foley Fatukasi. He's more of a Sheldon Rankins. He's more of a Tommy Togiai. Does Kurt Heinisch find a way to make it 4 straight years on this team, or is this his last offseason with the Texans?
One, he's got to outplay Danico Autry to start. That's he has to outplay him. That's the first thing he has to do to even get recognition to make it to the last preseason game. He has to outplay Danico.
Yeah.
And then you're looking around the room. We just said it was hard as hell for Danico, a guy with all the pelts on the wall, who we know is a hell of a good football player. We're looking at it's going to be that hard for him to make the team. I love Kurt Heinisch. He's the little engine that could. He's that guy, but it don't. Togiai is probably not going to make this team either.
Yeah, no. Probably not. He'd be probably a protected practice squatter if I had my choices.
I think the same thing might be for Kurt Heinisch.
Yeah. Chris,
but
what do you
think?
Kurt
Heinisch should be a job.
Okay, so as I said, before we even started this, Kurt Heinisch is going to be on this roster. I don't know how Kurt Heinisch is going to be on this roster. That is just...
the thing is, he got naked pictures of Matt Burke is what it is.
Something. Kurt Heinisch is going to be on this roster. I don't know how. I don't know what's going to happen, but somehow Kurt Heinisch is going to be on this roster.
Okay.
Hey.
Robert says, so you want ETN for a second rounder? Robert, I wouldn't take ETN if the Jaguars were sending ETN and a second rounder. Thank you. No, thank you.
That's crazy. So I sure would have took an ETN with a second round.
No, I would.
I would not.
Oh, I can't stand ETN. He ain't got to play.
It is a benefit, but also he will lose that burst and cut speed. Yeah. This is in reference to Kurt Heinisch. He's gone if they're smart. And then Jalen. Yeah, I think Heinisch is getting cut. The D line is too deep. It is. I mean, the big men for the long
Heinisch ain't going nowhere.
For the last couple of years, it's been we had Malik Collins, one other guy, and if one of those two got hurt, we were fucked.
Kurt Heinisch. Yeah.
Kurt Heinisch. I don't think we're at that point anymore. It sucks that basically all of the people involved in the room are 30 or older, but whatever. Neither here nor there.
Tim Settle's not 30 yet.
Factoring in Tim Settle.
Tim Settle and Foley, neither one of them are 30 yet. Those are the two young guys in the room.
No, Settle is
Foley's?
27.
Yeah,
And
Foley's
30.
Foley's not even 30 yet. He can't be.
I'm
He
guaranteeing.
ain't been in the league that long yet. Shoot. Let me see.
He has finger gun picks on someone. That's funny.
Right here.
He says, Robert says he has finger gun picks on somebody. Hell yeah, Robert. If he's not 30 Foley, he's got to be 28, 29.
Yeah, so Tim Settle's 27.
He is 30. He is 30. He just turned 30 in March. So, yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Is like I wanted us to draft a defensive lineman and, kind of build that room for the future. We've been building everything for this year, and it's okay. She doesn't have a long-term vibe for it, and I'm not.
And it's like if we're thinking about it, I forgot all about this. Togai was playing with Kurt Heinisch on the team.
Yeah,
they went and found Togai on the street and put him in instead of Kurt Heinisch.
Yeah,
and Kurt Heinisch still gonna make the team. The bad part about it, he's still gonna make the team. I don't know how. I'm not saying I agree with it. Kurt Heinisch is gonna make the team somehow.
Okay. Well, look, gentlemen, I think this is a good spot to go ahead and pivot to the top 25 Texans of all time. If you were not here with us last time, here's a recap of 21 through 25. 25, Whitney Merciless. 24, Kevin Walter. 23, Kareem Jackson. 22, Eric Winston. And number 21, Wade Smith. So, gentlemen, the night starts like this. Who's the 20th best Texan of all time?
So, like, I've been trying to like
You thinking
my
about
options with this. This might be too high. I don't know. I could be wrong, but there are a lot of players at positions that I can feel like still go in front of this player. But and like I said, this might be too high in you guys' opinion, but I'm going to go Jabbar Gap.
Hell no.
That's how I feel.
Boy, you pulled a name out your ass on that.
That was a throwback.
Because we're going all time, and like I say, I went throwback, and I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm sticking with what I said. I don't care. Sticking with what I said.
Didn't he only play like 3 seasons for us?
And I thought they were at the beginning. And the only reason I'm saying we weren't even winning then. Got to remember, guys, we weren't even winning.
Yeah, but he didn't even have like his best season.
We weren't even winning.
Went to the Patriots.
I'd have accepted David Carr over Jabbar Gapney. If you'd have said
so David Carr was a name that came into mind. And you want to know why his name came into mind? Beat the Cowboys the first game.
Damn.
That sounds really bad. But that was my sole reasoning because I think that we ruined David Carr's career.
I mean, that's accurate. We did ruin his career. But Mike, what do you have at 20?
I'm thinking Dominique Davis / Williams.
Interesting. See, in my mind, he's not even on the list because, I mean, he
He's not
really
on the
only
list?
had like 2 years, and then he left the league entirely.
Yep.
So, like, for me, you
Who
know,
you
I
got?
think number 20, a good spot would be like Connor Barwin.
I can't argue with that.
I mean,
Oh, I
he
mean,
had
yeah,
productive
Connor.
years for us, and then he went and had productive years elsewhere.
We got him paid, and then he became a Pro Bowler for the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, he had,
But we got him paid by the Eagles.
yeah, essentially. I think DJ Reader would be an interesting option there. Trying to think. I also think, you know, this is probably around the area that you put Owen Daniels.
I actually put Owen Daniels a little bit higher because only reason I say
Yeah,
Owen
I was
Daniels
gonna
a
say I
little bit
think
higher.
Owen Daniels. I think he's been our best tight end, arguably our best tight end. I mean,
No, it's not even arguably.
Lamar Jackson.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can you name a better tight end? That's if you want me to be honest, like all time type Texas tight end. Like I feel like you can't be that.
It's Owen Daniels and CJ Fedorowicz. Anything. The competition's slim behind him.
It's true.
Oh Lord Jesus, bro, we got
man.
about CJ Fedorowicz. God damn. Yeah,
you know what? I just thought about this. Great. What about Andre Howe?
Thank you.
He had some really good years for us at safety, battled cancer, came back and had a couple good years for us at safety, and then retired at like 29 years old.
I can actually dig that one.
Okay.
I can dig Andre at 20.
Yeah, I can dig that one, actually.
Vanderbilt University's own
Andre Howe.
All right, number 19. Is this a good spot for Barwin, or does he make this list? Or
Connor Barwin? To me, Connor Barwin may be a little bit higher than that. He'll be a name that comes up tonight. I'm thinking maybe 16, 17. Because Connor was nice.
Yeah, he was real nice. He was nice.
Okay. Well, what about? So, where do you think Brian Cushing and D'Amico Ryans fall?
Top 10.
Okay. Dwayne Brown.
Sadly, top 10 as well.
Laramie.
Yeah. But that's it. But the thing now you see where the problem gets into.
You know what I'm saying? Laramie, because we had Laramie for 5 or 6 years?
6 years.
Damn near the same amount of time we had Dwayne Brown.
No, Dwayne Brown was here for a minute.
What, 8? It was about 8.
No, I think he was, 32 when we traded him.
Was he that old?
Seattle, right? Then he go to Seattle.
He's like 40 right now.
Yeah, because technically he hasn't officially retired yet.
Yeah. He would have started last year for the Jets, but he tore his Achilles. Okay, 19. What about Chris Myers? What about
yeah, we brought up Chris Myers after last thing. Yes, Chris Myers definitely 19's fine. 19's fine for Chris Myers.
Yeah, I think I was say I don't think you can go too much higher with him, especially you're only doing 25, so yeah.
Yeah. All right, 18. Trying to think here. Where do we put? We got Kevin Walter at 24. Where do we put someone like a DeAndre Hopkins?
Higher than 18. DeAndre's probably top 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do we?
Just because you got to remember, man, the man was getting 1,000-yard seasons with me out there throwing the ball.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, yeah. All right. Fair enough. I'm just.
You guys even remember all the quarterbacks that now?
Oh shit! Hey, don't play with me. I probably can name all of them.
Because shit.
Warrior, Mallet.
Ryan Mallet. Did Al-Shaair throwing the ball?
Austin Weiler, TJ Yates.
Fitzpatrick.
What do we pay him? 72. What is 72 million? At that
That
time,
man
it
in
was a
Arizona
really crazy
Oh,
contract.
yeah. All right. So 18. Let's think here. Let's see here.
Oh yeah, because we kind of got sidetracked on the DeAndre Hopkins thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Number 18.
shit. Okay, so like here's my question. Here's my question. Where would a Jonathan Joseph fall?
He's 15, 16 as well. Best cornerback we've
I'm
ever had.
only asking because
Best cornerback we ever had, and that's including Stingley, because Stingley ain't done it long enough yet.
Oh yeah, and that, but that's my exact point to why I asked that, because like I agree, best cornerback that we've ever had, and as bad as it sounds, this might be a spot for him because there might be other players that go because so the thing about it is he should be higher than Connor Baldwin in my opinion. He was here way longer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's no question. J. Joe is definitely higher than Connor Baldwin.
Yeah,
but we've already named Connor Baldwin.
No, well, we've talked about it. We haven't put him.
We haven't named him yet.
Well, no, but we did say. But I said Connor Baldwin around 6. This Connor Baldwin's name comes up tonight.
Okay, I got
it. Definitely comes up tonight. Just I don't know if it's 18.
All right, hold up. So everybody's blowing up in the chat right now because we said DeAndre Hopkins is top 15. Eric says Hopkins is top 10 for sure.
Nah.
Trevor Down says Bro submitted himself as one of the best receivers in the league year in and year out with nobodies. Don't disrespect him like that.
And that's why I say he's at least top 15.
So is D'Amico and Cushing.
Yep.
Bro, name me 10 better Texans other than JJ. He's got to be top 10. Only one that was better was Andre Johnson. That's the point, is like, to me, when it comes to like the top 5, it's the people who, if you're in the Hall of Fame, Andre Johnson, you're number 1. Like,
and I'm not going to spoil.
We know JJ's going to the Hall of Fame. We know that,
right? He's number 2.
And that's the thing, is I still say there's an argument between 1 and 2 between those two guys, just depending on how you feel and what you feel that day. Because there's no question JJ's a Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
None.
Yeah, 20 back seasons. You would
the other top
3-time defensive player of the year.
Yeah. The other top 10s you're looking at, fucking D'Amico's probably in that. Cushing is probably in the top 15.
Yeah, I agree.
Arian Foster.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you got Arian Foster.
Y'all are gonna hate me on this, but Matt Schaub.
Yeah, Schaub
deserves. Matt Schaub's in the top 15.
Yeah,
he's still our best quarterback we've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's what makes this list difficult, because it's not necessarily.
So Deshaun Watson just ain't gonna make the list just because.
Deshaun Watson didn't surpass Matt Schaub. He didn't.
Yeah.
He played for us for 4 years.
Yeah.
I was really being more funny than anything. I don't care if the man make the list or not.
Well, there's a reason that CJ's not on the list. There's a reason that Deshaun's not on the list. They haven't been here long enough. Now, Matt Schaub was here for like what, 8 years?
Okay. So, but how long did we have Connor Baldwin? If we're going to go that route, how long did we have Connor Baldwin? 3 years? Was that what we?
Connor Baldwin
3 years.
It's about 5 years.
Yeah, he was.
It was that long.
Yeah.
And before he came to us, he was a guy struggling to hang on in the league.
Connor Baldwin, we drafted him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought we drafted him.
Did we draft him?
Yeah, we drafted him out of Cincinnati.
3rd round or 2nd round?
Something like that. So that second feels right.
I have to think back. But that's my point, was he was not a superstar.
Yeah.
We made him a household
Okay,
name to a point where
like,
Philly paid him.
he was not a superstar. We made him a household name. Why are we not putting him right here when we're talking about him?
There's no argument for why he isn't here. We're
No,
at 19.
but this is from
Trevor asks, so JJ, Andre, D'Amico, Arian, and then Hopkins.
okay, so like, is D'Amico really that high?
If I'm keeping D'Amico's not third.
No.
I was say, hold on.
D'Amico's not third.
Is D'Amico really that high? If you want me to be honest, D'Amico, and I know we're getting all off subject, D'Amico would be more like a 9 to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but that's how I feel.
We don't know where in the top 15, but
He's 15 and down.
Yeah. Or up, depending on how you're looking at it. But yeah.
Why are we talking about Brian Hoyer?
Brian Hoyer had a solid
Brian
year.
Hoyer.
He had 1 year. That's the part of the thing.
And it wasn't even great. We're not going to do that. It wasn't even great.
So 18. We're still on 18 here, guys.
I'm okay with Connor Barwin.
I just said, I told you who I want there.
I'm okay with Connor Barwin here. I really am.
Connor Barwin on the list. All right, number 17.
J-Joe, it's okay here.
Yeah. Trevor, yes. I know what we said. We don't know where they're getting. We're literally making this list up as we're going. We're basically just qualifying people for this realm of numbers that we're talking about, 20 through 16. So if we're saying somebody like D-Hop is top 15, we just don't know where he fits in.
Yeah, D-Hop might be number 5. I doubt it, but I'm just saying he might be number 5.
I mean, you also got Jonathan Joseph. You got some other dudes that have played a long time for this franchise and played really goddamn well. 17, I'm thinking this is a good spot for
Don't say Owen Daniels.
No, I was thinking, Cushing and D'Amico aren't the only linebackers that we've had that were kind of needle movers. And if anybody remembers the first team, Jamie Sharper is a name that you probably remember.
Yep.
One hell of a fucking linebacker. Believe he came from what? The Packers? Or am I thinking of his brother Darren?
No, you're thinking that Darren was the Packers. I think he was a New England guy.
I don't know that he was. I feel like it was.
Oh, was it the Browns?
I don't know. In my mind, I had it as either the Packers or the Sea Chickens.
Man, that man's 50 years old now.
Yeah. Just giving you a hard time about Hopkins. Hopkins is goated. Just love him.
That's 50 years old. I was a teenager when this damn team came.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a good spot for him right there. I think
Baltimore. It was Baltimore.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, are we good at 17, Jamie Sharper?
Yeah, no, I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah.
Cool. And number 16, last one for the evening.
So,
Daniels.
I knew that was going to be. I say toss up between Owen Daniels and J. Joe. Me personally,
I can go either way.
I think J. Joe should be higher than that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel
part of me there's part of me that feels that Owen Daniels should be slightly higher than that. If I'm being honest.
I mean, I'm not opposed.
Best tight end we ever had, but
it's
just who's going to be in front of him. That's the
yeah.
This is the whole argument we've been sitting here having. Like, who's going to be in front of? Like, we could probably literally name a top 10 that might not even be the full. So we could name the top 5. I'm at least close to it. I'm sure.
Yeah, but everything else, flushing that out, it's difficult.
Yeah, but it's just we got a lot of players, especially when you say you want others.
I figured it out.
Holy shit. Yeah, I think you might have hit the same thing I did.
Chris Brown.
Thank you. We were on the same page. I was like, wait a minute. How did I forget that guy?
Chris Brown. He was the kicker from day one until what, like 2008 or 9? And then we brought in Neil Rackers for a while. And then we had Fat Randy Bullock.
And see, that's the thing. It was
Oh, yeah,
him.
Randy Bullock.
And then we struggled kicking around random fucking names and random kickers.
Yep.
Till we got the Fairbairn. That's literally between Chris Brown and Fairbairn.
Okay, yeah, I can rock with that. Okay, that gives us a reason to move Owen Daniels and JJ up a little bit.
And JJ.
Yeah. I mean, without Chris Brown, we don't win that last second first time we beat the Colts with Peyton Manning. And there's a lot of moments that Chris Brown was a part of. So
Chris Brown was one of the better kickers in the NFL for a while.
For a minute.
More consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had his ass kicking a lot.
Because we couldn't get into that fucking end zone.
Yeah. All right. So recap.
We still fucking can't.
Recap real quick. Number 20, safety / corner, Andre Howe. Number 19, center, Chris Myers. Number 18, edge, Connor Barwin. Number 17, linebacker, Jamie Sharper. And number 16, kicker, Chris Brown.
I can't argue with that at all.
And
now,
that's
I feel better about that now.
Yeah. When I say kicker Chris Brown, I'm not talking about the musician
who likes to kick people,
who likes to hit people. Okay. Look, gentlemen, I think this is a good spot to go ahead and wrap this sucker up. Do you guys have any closing comments?
Go Texans.
Hey, like I said, if you're a Mechie fan, pray for him.
Yeah,
because he's gonna need it.
I wonder if prayer hands does anything. I guess not. I don't know.
But no, if you care
this
about
is John Mechie.
No, if you care anything about it, pray for him because the man's gonna need that help. This wide receiver room stacked.
Yep.
It's a hard day.
Yep.
It's gonna be a hard day.
Well, look, folks, hit the like, subscribe button here. We're trying to grow. We're trying to catch up to those boys on Third and Teal who are blowing up the chat right now. Shouts.
I blame it on Travis Hunter.
Shouts Trevor and Eric. Also, shout out to Robert for giving us the business earlier. Fuck with it.
Yeah.
If you're on social media anywhere, please look for @Mass3 Productions across the social medias. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Trying to help Mike grow. If you're on social media, look for That's Crazy Podcast and Talk. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Help support Chris. Do the same thing here. And most of all, folks, be good people and fuck the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys.
That's right.
And go Texans.
Damn.